the massacre in Louisiana. They've been talking about it on the news all day. This man slaughtered his whole family. There's theories going around that he was under mind control. We don't know this for sure, but people are trying to make sense of why somebody would go out there and do what he did. He was a part of the military, and that's one of the reasons why people think it's deeper than what they're telling us on the news, and we're about to talk about it. I need y'all to do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It probably looked like a game, but I promise you, this is not a game. And for all the people out there who want answers, if you feel like you got some answers, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button too. Without further ado, we got to talk about people losing their minds. What exactly is going on? How could something like this happen? He was a part of a program that we're going to be discussing. So let's get into the details. Without further ado, let's do it, man. Come on.
Tonight, new details on gunman Shawn Elkins, who shot and killed 7 of his children and their cousin.
Say he may have shot them all.
The shooter's brother-in-law, Troy Brown, shocked, telling NBC News 31-year-old Elkins recently sought mental health treatment through Veterans Affairs.
He stayed there a week and a half. He came home. He was happy.
Elkins left the Louisiana Army National Guard in 2020 after they say he served for 7 years as a private.
He loved his kids. He loved his wife. I just don't know what happened. You never know what a person's going through.
The horrific act of violence happened inside this home early Sunday. The kids, all between 3 and 11 years old.
Wait a minute. So he went to go get some help. He went to a facility to see if they could help him with his brain and wound up losing his mind. What was going on inside of the facility? And I hate to make this a conspiracy theory, but what else could you possibly do with something like this? The treatment failed. So is it safe to say that the system failed this man? Look.
Authorities say the gunman also shot his wife and a woman believed to be his girlfriend before he fled in a stolen car. Home security video capturing the moments officers caught up to him and exchanged gunfire. He was later pronounced dead. What is it like to return to this scene today?
It's just unreal. I can't believe it. It is tragic what is going on, and this has affected everyone.
Another urgent question tonight, how did Elkins have access to a firearm? Authorities say he was a convicted felon. Family members noting he was also going through a divorce.
We thank you for watching. And
hold on, wait 1 second. Hold on now. That's something I want to touch on. He a convicted felon, but they're going on and on about him being a vet or whatever the case is. Then you got people out there saying he was never deployed. So what exactly was they doing with this man for him to be able to go get some treatment, some help? In order for them to accept him for the treatment and the help, they had to know what he went through in order for his brain to be jacked up like that. And if it had anything to do with his occupation, somebody need to be held responsible for letting this time bomb out there in society like that. Look at this, y'all.
Police in Shreveport, Louisiana, combing over a crime scene after they say a gunman shot and killed 8 children, including 7 of his own, on Sunday. ABC's Armando Garcia reports on one of the deadliest mass shootings in the past 2 years.
A city rattled by the country's latest mass shooting.
Father God, I ask you to bring families together right now.
Shreveport police say 31-year-old Shawn Elkins shot and killed 8 children, including 7 of his own, in a domestic violence incident that spanned across 2 neighboring residences and a 3rd nearby home.
The suspect shot the mother of the children first, then responded to this location and shot 8 children. 7.
Okay, we get that part. But what was his mind state? The last dude said that he loved his kids and he don't understand how something like this could happen. He was having problems. He was going through some things. Was that even him at the scene to do something like that? These are the type of conspiracies that we have to ask ourselves nowadays because we're seeing it more and more often. So what was really going on here? Hold up.
Of which being his own.
Police calling the crime scenes gruesome. The victims, 3 boys and 5 girls, all between the ages of 3 and 11 years old. The mother and another woman who were also shot now fighting for their lives. Investigators say another child was injured jumping off the roof trying to get away. Authorities say officers fatally shot Elkins after he led them on a police chase.
It's a very hectic scene. There's a lot to investigate, a lot to unpack, and we want to do the best we can to come up with a...
No, wait. They know what's going on. They just not telling us what's going on. They got a clear indication of what was wrong with that man. He was on the same side they was on. He's one of their own. They got documentations on his ass. I'm pretty sure they knew it. He got 8 kids. People know who he is, what he's about. Who's the man? Who y'all daddy? Who's the man with all these kids? The neighborhood knows. And not only did the neighborhood know, but law enforcement knew as well. So how did they let it get this out of hand? You figure he's a grown man. He's responsible for his own actions. And this is true. But when you seeking help and that help is not met, now we got to ask the doctor, the psychiatrist, to figure out what's happening, because it's a bunch of vets out there or military men out there, and they're amazing people. I know a few of them, great guys, but you never know what somebody going through in their personal life. I wouldn't know unless they told me. But as far as this goes, he's been telling somebody. Was there a medication he was on? Did the medication fail? Was there a test ran on him? Did he go to Tuskegee? Those are the type of questions we got to be asking.
Timeline, a clear reasoning, even though cases like this, the reasoning will never be fully understood.
House Speaker Mike Johnson, who represents the district where the shooting happened, offering his prayers in a post on social media. And the community now rallying around the family and lighting candles for the 8 lives lost.
To learn later that I knew one of the children, it really took a toll on me. And I really hate that for the mama period and those children.
An Army official telling ABC News that Shamar Elkins had served in the Louisiana Army National Guard for 7 years, left the Army as a private in 2020, and had not been deployed. Armando Garcia, ABC News, New York.
Okay, he left the Army as a private. So what was the big secret? What was they keeping private from his family? Did his wife and his baby mothers know that he was going through these type of problems? They said he was going through a divorce. I read comments saying that he was struggling with his sexuality. It's sort of like you dealing with 5 or 6 different people with 7, 8 different kids. Let's move on, because it's going to get deeper. Look.
Other big stories, that tragic shooting in Louisiana. You're looking at Jason Allen in Shreveport in front of one of the crime scenes. Jason, this is an horrific story. Good morning to you. What can you tell us?
Yeah, it's just some terrible details about this morning, Errol. Good morning to you. This was the nation's deadliest shooting in more than 2 years. And police say that the gunman shot 10 people, killed those 8 children, all in this house that is directly behind me. Then went up the street, stole a car at gunpoint, led police on a chase. All of this happening early Sunday morning.
Police say Shamar Elkins killed 8 children, including 7 of his own, in an execution-style shooting in Shreveport, Louisiana, early Sunday morning.
When he returned here, he began to execute children.
The incident started as
Wait. Now, it's hard for me to imagine that any of this stuff really took place, but it actually did. So when they say execution style, is it what I'm thinking? To where he orchestrated the whole situation on some kids? That's inhumane to do something like that. That's not even, I wouldn't even think it's humanly possible. We talking about somebody that loved his kids and everybody knew about it, took pride in his kids, remembered their names, and they all had similar names: Jayla, Kayla, Shayla, Layla. And he knew who they was, had a relationship with his kids. It's not like he was some deadbeat dad that only seen his kids once in the blue. It's just so happened April 19th, the man snapped. Now what's going on out there in the ozone layer? That's what we trying to get to the bottom of, because a lot of freakish things been going on. People been acting irrationally, doing things without an explanation? Is it the cell phones? Is it the towers? Well, we need to be more concerned about this, because just the other day he was all right. Now he dead along with all his kids.
A domestic dispute around 5 in the morning. According to police, Elkins shot a woman in the face at one house, then went to the house where his children were and shot another woman. Police say he pursued the children, even as some of them tried to escape.
What could make somebody that mad? It had to be some type of drug, some type of medication, or whatever the case is. Now, this is purely theory. I don't know all of the details. But just listening to this and trying to put logic to it, the only logic you could have is somebody was fucking with his brain. Some way, somehow, in some type of capacity, his brain was being effed with. Now, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I got a strong feeling that there's a lot of details that they're not sharing with us.
Were they crawling out of windows to get onto a roof?
Yes, so actually this house right here that you see behind us, there's a window right above the garage. They actually climbed out of that window, we believe, and unfortunately one of the children was actually located deceased on the roof. So we are working to determine, we do believe that he shot the child while the child was on the roof trying to get away.
Police say the shooter then stole a vehicle from a driver.
No.
What
What type of cybertronic this man was on? There's some Android going on. How you catch some? He doing all that dirt. He caught the boy on the roof when he was trying to get away. Somebody make that make sense. He was all over the place. Did he have scanners? He was seeing through walls, shooting people in the faces. Did he have breakfast? What type of machine they don't build? To where nobody, man, he could have went to Smoothie King and looked at them prices on them shakes and calmed all the way the fuck down. Them Smoothie King prices would have took his mind off of all of that. $15 for a fucking smoothie? He probably would have went behind the register and made his own damn smoothie if he wanted to flip. And sometimes you got to do stuff like that. When you go for a ride, you're going to see some shit to take your mind off of whatever it is you're going through. But at that moment, when he woke up, he had to be thinking, kill, kill, kill. Was they cracking jokes about his penis? And even if they was, this where y'all came from. You ain't have a problem with it when I was putting them babies in you. There's nothing logically that could make somebody this mad unless his brain was being tampered with. Look.
There's on a multi-parish chase. When he stopped in a neighborhood and got out with a gun, officers shot and killed him.
We believe there were multiple weapons used here. There is a handgun that was recovered at this scene, and then there was a rifle-style handgun that was recovered on his person.
Now, y'all know sometimes the police be scared, and rightfully so. Because if I was out there, that's why I feel for police officers, because you never know what they going through or what they done seen. So if they come off aggressive or whatever the case, you don't know where they just came from. If the police officer got an attitude, you don't know what he had to deal with last night or the week before that. So when this dude go on a killing spree and he done already killed 10 people, they not trying to talk to the man. I know I wouldn't be trying to talk to him. He's a dangerous, dangerous target with a military background. Now, this is the thing about it. They keep on brushing it off like he with the National Guard, like that's not a big deal. But this man was very, very intelligent. Ain't nobody gonna give 8 babies to some dude that ain't worth a damn. He was with the National Guard. He was an all-American soldier. Played it by the book. And when the pandemic hit, that's when things started falling apart for a lot of people. And he just so happened to be, and I'm not trying to sympathize with the man, but he's somebody's responsibility. And whoever the corporation or whoever put him into whatever they had going on with him need to step up and take that responsibility. Look.
The adult shot was the wife of the shooter. Both women are hospitalized and expected to live. Photos posted to the gunman's Facebook page show him with several children. One posted just 2 weeks ago, captioned, "With all my kids. What a blessed day."
The kids played in the yard every evening.
Fred Montgomery lives directly across the street. He said there were no signs the shooter would do something like this.
Just yesterday.
I know that ain't blood on the door. Oh, that is terrible.
He was sitting on the porch, and I waved at him. He waved back. The children were in the yard playing, and I just come in the house. And then this morning, we woke up to all of this.
Hold on, no. Wait. This man said, I know you heard what he said, but help me try to make it make sense. This man said that he came home and this man was on the porch with his kids in the front yard playing. He's sitting there watching his. Now, what was going through his mind when he was watching his kids playing outside? The neighbor waved at him and he waved back. He had to be thinking, these kids working up an appetite. The more they run, the more they play, the more they gonna want to eat. He should have been at the grocery store when they was out there playing. I guess he figured he gonna have to feed them for the rest of his life. But if he made them, he ain't got no problem with that. They talking about, they keep on going on and on about how he was able to get his hands on the firearm. How the dude at the corner store got his hand on the firearm. The dude standing in front of the gas station. The thug going back and forth to school with the gun in their lock. People get, it's more guns than there is people. He served in the National Guard. Aren't they required to have guns or whatever the case? Somebody talking about stop joking about where the funny part at? If you're not laughing and ain't nobody else laughing and I'm not cracking no jokes, how is this supposed to be a laughing matter? If you think I'm a clown, why would you even watch the video? That's your personal problem. There's absolutely nothing funny about a man taking the life of 8 kids. The point I'm trying to make is it ain't human. It's either he was a demon to begin with, or when did he turn into a demon? That's what I'm trying to figure out. When did he decide that he wanted to be a mass murderer of his own family? Usually people go out there and do crazy things towards other people, but to your own family, somebody help me understand what the hell is going on. Look at this, y'all.
Come in the house, and then this morning, we woke up to all of this.
The coroner's office here has released the names and the ages of all of those children. 5 girls, 3 boys, all of them between 3 and 11 years old. Now, Elkins has a previous weapons charge, something he pleaded guilty to back in 2019. But Errol, police are still looking into what it was that prompted this shooting Sunday morning.
Yeah, nothing but horror and heartbreak there.
Lord have mercy, man. We got to talk about it a little more. Make sure y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button, join the channel, subscribe. I'm not really happy about none of this stuff that's going on, because it's a bad look for brothers. It's a bad look for the black community right now. It's worse than Sexy Red, and I thought I would never see anything worse than that. It's worse than Finesse 2 times sitting in front of a dry bowl of cereal, bragging about the dry cereal. Is worse than anything I've ever seen in a long time. It's worse than Pooh Shiesty robbing Gucci Mane and Gucci Mane running to the police. 1,000 times worse than that. Look at this, y'all.
After a terrifying act of violence, police say a man killed 7 of his own children and another child just yesterday. All of them were under the age of 12. Officials there are giving an update right now, so let's listen in.
The council, every person that's in leadership, our mayor, Lord, that we make the right decisions on this day. Lord, we thank you for this city. We love you, And Lord, we'll always be careful to give you the praise. In Jesus' name.
That's how you know it's evil. When you got congressmen and politicians up there praying and stuff, they know that it's a dark cloud over their city. They know the devil is in town. He don't move from Memphis to Shreveport, Louisiana, and they all got to deal with it. This got to be the darkest place in America right now. There's some Roanoke American Horror Stories going on right now. And I'm thinking about the people that live in the neighborhood, the people that have to go down that street. And there's one thing to pass the street to get home. That's already devastating. What about the people that got to pull into their driveway right next door to the house? It'd be hard to sleep at night thinking about what took place next door. They gonna have to sell their house and get out of town. And now it's time for the copycats to come out there, the disgruntled fathers, people already on the edge. They're hanging on by a string. They ready to pop. And when something like this hit the news, they're thinking that, hell, this is the times we living in, what's the point? It's a struggle out here, man. So while people think I'm trying to be funny, I'm making this video to let y'all know and open y'all up to the possibilities that there could be something deeper going on behind the scenes. We don't know for sure. It's a pure theory, but I would imagine that it's deeper than what they putting out there to the public.
Thank you very much for coming. Again, I'd like to say good morning to everyone. Yesterday, our community experienced a tragic act of violence that has impacted families, neighbors, that has impacted our entire city. Today, we pause to honor the lives that were lost and the families forever changed. Today, we remember Jayla Elkins, age 3, Shayla Elkins, age 5, Kayla Pugh, age 6, Layla Pugh, age 7, Makeda Pugh, age 10, Soraya Snow, age 11, Conundrum Snow, age 6, Braylon Snow, age 5, and to all of their families. So before I go on, will you just pause for a minute for a moment of silence as we honor them?
Okay, wait. Okay. Now fill me on this, all right? Listen to what I got to say. When tragedies like this happen, opportunists take opportunities for all different types of things. And you wouldn't even believe some of the things that they consider when tragedies like this happen, especially in small towns, small cities like Shreveport. Okay, let me show y'all something real quick. It's only gonna take a second, I promise you. But I'm gonna get this together because y'all need to see exactly what this is. Oh no, get it all the way together. Okay, let me type this in real quick. Yeah. All right, let's get into this and try to make this make sense. All right, 50 Cent doing big business down there. He just opened up a film studio to where he about to be making his own movies, TV series and stuff. So the whole city of Shreveport is on board. You got the councilwoman, Tabitha. She talking about bringing 50 Cent to Shreveport, whatever. Now, if you really want your city on the map like that, and I'm not saying this was something that was orchestrated to get 50 Cent popping or to get the movie industry popping or whatever, have a story to tell or whatever the case is. But opportunity is opportunity. I need y'all to listen at this real quick.
Yes. I love it. And you look colorful. I love the colors.
Thank you.
What are we asking? I ain't even asked you what you
Oh,
asking.
Just humor and harmony and where
Okay.
we are and where we're going and how great was it. And
Ooh.
gosh, were you here from the beginning?
Yes.
When Adrian, from when it first came?
Yes.
Okay. We good? Okay. All right. So yeah, let's just talk about being here from the beginning until where we are now.
Mhm.
You remember when there was just a fight to get Millennium?
Yes.
Tell me about that fight with then Mayor Adrian Perkins.
It was a vision, and the vision of
The
Ms.
city of-
Bonnie Moore, and bringing that information to Mayor Perkins, and then him being receptive of it and wanting to branch off back into the movie industry. So you sit there under that tutelage of the Perkins administration with Chief Whitehorn, Shelley Ragle, Bonnie, Attorney Latier. They all gathering the contract information to go in and purchase this building, and now look where we are. Wow.
Okay, they in the movie business down there in Shreveport. That's they
Shreveport,
go-to.
Louisiana is
Hold
reeling
on.
after a terrifying act of
Where's she
violence.
at?
Police
Wait a
say
minute. Now I got to keep this thing on track. Okay, here she go. Listen.
And Satanya Smiles. Good morning. On this morning, Satanya Smiles and I, who's an advocate in the Cedar Grove area, had the opportunity to go and speak with some of the family members of the victims that we lost on yesterday. And the family wanted us to express to you all to allow them to grieve and to go through this process, because this is not a process that is easy for them by any means. They want you to allow the Shreveport Police Department to do their job in this investigation. I also wanted you to know to continue to pray for their families, but also wanted you to understand that 7 of those children belong to Mr. Elkins, who took their lives, and 1 did not. And they wanted to ensure that you all had correct and precise information. This is a difficult process. And at this point, what they are trying to do is to wrap their mind around what has occurred in their family. How do they navigate through this? So if there's anything that you can do for them right now, is to keep them the priority. I'm gonna say it again, keep them the priority and respect their wishes. Respect their wishes as their loved ones go through surgery and they're healing and they're in a dark place because they don't know how to wrap their minds around all of this. Leave the social media chatter alone, thinking that you know everything when you do not. The best thing that you can do for them is to allow them to navigate again through this devastating, traumatic process. And from that point, as we respect their wishes, as they plan for the burial of the children and the grandchildren, I want you to think about the mothers that are the survivors, because there are 3 mothers at this point.
Damn, man. You figure, you figure you in a leadership position and you trying to lead the flock. You rarely have an opportunity to lead like that. When you think about it, especially when you're trying to get votes, you're going to have to show some muscle in one way or another. You're going to have to do something for the community. You're going to have to, and a lot of times they struggle with doing that. They want the vote. They want things from the community, but there's not nothing they could necessarily give back to the community. But situations like this create opportunities for people to step in authoritative roles, even in situations that don't really concern them like that. 50 cents donate to help Shreveport domestic violence survivors. This was March, so this was last month. So they got a big donation from 50 for domestic violence survivors. Hold on, y'all. Shreveport, Louisiana, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson made his way to Shreveport Wednesday for a check presentation at the Martin Luther King Development Center several $1,000s for multiple nonprofits across Shreveport and Cato Parish. Jackson says delivering some hope to survivors of domestic violence came to him after working on a documentary. Underdogs get giant recognition. The idea of making a donation to these organizations that came along with producing the documentary for Netflix, and I said I would donate proceeds to domestic violence. The $500,000 will go to 9 nonprofits: Gingerbread House, the Fountains Community Development Corporation, Families Helping Families Region, Ellie Foundations, Moms on a Mission, Best 13, MLK Community Development Corporation. Now, this is all pure theories that I'm putting together, but can y'all kind of see where I'm going before I explain to y'all where I'm going with this? A tragedy like this, which is very tragic, is not a laughing matter. It's very serious. You know, these things is not a game. But at the same time, if a cow dies, there's a million ways you can sell that meat. The MLK Neighborhood Association, Northwest Louisiana Youth Golf and Education Foundation, so they ain't got to pay no taxes next year. All these donations and tragedies, they straight. With this donation and the tragedy that recently happened, they about to get the facility and all that for free. Look at this, man. I didn't say where I would make donations, but I like Shreveport, said Jackson. And the dollars that we're giving to these particular nonprofits will go directly to people. That's how impactful this is. Yo, let me show y'all something real quick. And let's be serious about this. Let's be all the way serious. No jokes, no comedy, no cornball material. Look at this. Matter of fact, put that on there. For you younger people out there, let me give y'all a little history lesson real quick. When 50 Cent dropped, when he first came out, the murder rate went through the roof. People was dying. It was more tragic than what happened in Shreveport when his album came out. It was people getting shot for no reason, proud to get shot. It was get rich or die trying. That's his motto. So for that money, not only is he willing to risk his life, but he really willing to take somebody else's life. That's the energy that they bought to Shreveport, regardless if he's an older man now, he's a businessman now. And I'm not trying to connect 50 to the murder or whatever the case is, but you never know the extent of what people will go through in order to, get it popping financially. Sometimes they be looking for some national attention. I'm not saying that's the case, but I got a feeling that they're going to capitalize off of this thing in a million different ways. Look.
One is in surgery at this time that are going to be faced with immense pain. That's going to need all of us, the community long-term counseling, the father that is left here to grieve their child. And I want you to remember that more than anything, because it's people first. It's not your stories. It's not who posted first. It's them. It's all about them. And that as a community, as a nation in this country, and for all of the accolades that we have received here, the prayers of support from Canada, from Belgium, that I want you to understand that domestic violence is nobody's
Hold on, what do you mean we got support from Belgium and all these different places? Is she talking about the family, or is she talking about the leadership, the people that's in charge over there? Are they the ones getting the support? Are they getting more donations from other countries to help with the situation in Louisiana? they trying to capitalize like this another Hurricane Katrina. I hope that money is going to the family and the victims. They the ones that need the support. But seeing how, and ain't nothing wrong with them speaking out and addressing the public and letting everybody know what's going on. Look how many different news publications is there to speak about this tragedy. Hey, I'm gonna do this. Instead of keep on talking about it, I'm just gonna show y'all what's going on for real. So let me get this together. No, right there. Yeah. Y'all stay tuned. Look. Y'all stay tuned, because it's about to go down right now. Look.
I'm asking you to please utilize every resource that the sheriff has brought forth now when you know that these situations occur. We cannot be and make this a joke. This is not a freaking joke. This is real, and this is the result when someone snaps. So I'm gonna ask the community, along with prayer, with every mental health consultant, counselor that is out here, this family and this community needs you. I need you. Because how do we get through this? How do we get to the next level?
Hold on. Wait. Somebody help me understand real quick. And I mean this with all the love and sincerity. I'm praying for the families, for the victims, for all of that. I'm praying for America right now. 50 came, he been spreading a lot of money around there, and somehow, some way, they're particularly interested in domestic violence cases and stuff. So that's the bag that they working on down there. Out of all of the situations, what about poverty in the neighborhood? What about homelessness or people dealing with addiction and things? Because a lot of those things lead to domestic violence, drug abuse and things, prostitution. Where's the funds to get the women off the corners or whatever, so you wouldn't be having all these babies or whatnot? What about changing the narrative? But it seemed like they're fixated on domestic violence, women being done wrong, children being done wrong. So if that's the bag, and that's the type of money that they spending and investing into, then that means that business is booming. Now, this is just a public donation. This just a little throw around money to get the ball rolling with this thing. 50 is in town, and guess what? He's willing to invest in domestic violence. Okay, we're going to do it like this. And I'm going to go ahead and get straight to the point. Matter of fact, leave that right there. What's the boy name? Louisiana. Let's do this. Because, look. Okay, this is what we gonna do. Oh, damn, they not fooling with it. Y'all stay tuned. I got this for y'all. All right, here we go. Look.
Now let's get to Shreveport, Louisiana, where we are learning more about that mass shooting suspect. We're talking about Shawn Elkins. So he is the suspect who's accused of opening fire during some kind of a domestic situation that left 8 children dead and 2 women hurt on Sunday. Apparently previously served in the Louisiana Army National Guard. That's the word from officials. An Army official told Fox News Digital that, quote, Shawn Elkins served in the Louisiana Army National Guard from August of 2013 to August of 2020 as a signal support system specialist. And
signal support system specialist. What exactly do that do? Because I'm starting to think that he probably had a transmitter in his damn brain. What type of signals was sent to his medulla oblongata? Ugh. Let's get into it. A motive in the violent shooting is still under investigation, but authorities said they know it's domestic in nature. So that's all the authorities is focusing on. They not talking about this man's mental state. It's a domestic violence case. That's where the bread at. You gotta follow the money in these type of situations. At least that's my theory. I could be wrong. Look, a Louisiana community is reeling from a catastrophic shooting in which a man killed 7 of his children and another child and seriously injured his wife and the woman described as his girlfriend. Police have identified the man who also died as Shamar Elkins. Shreveport Councilman Grayson Boucher said the city has a true epidemic of domestic violence. That's what he said? Hold on. It's an epidemic for domestic violence. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Is it a possibility, allegedly, that they're probably fueling the domestic violence in the city? You figure if there's a drug problem in your city, somebody's selling a lot of drugs. If there's an alcohol problem in your city, it's a lot of liquor stores around there somewhere. If there's domestic violence happening in your city, who's the culprit? Or who's encouraging? Is it simulated? Is it genetically engineered? Well, what's the program with this thing? What's the recipe for a disaster? Because his neighbor said he was just happy. And he went to go get some treatment for his membrane. And they donating to all these organizations. They reaching out to the gingerbread house. And this man come out doing some animated shit. The Fountains Community Development Corporation. What they developing or how they developing or what's the agenda for that bread? Families helping families. Moms on a mission. Best 13. Hold on, wait a minute. Now they said he served in the military, right? Where the part where they talk about him being in the army? They need to hold on. Okay, suspect was an Army veteran. The suspect served in the Louisiana Army National Guard from August 2013 to August 2020 as a signal support system specialist and fire support specialist. The Army said in a statement he never deployed and left as a private. He was arrested in 2019 and convicted of illegal use of a firearm. Okay, this is what we're going to do because I did this on my last video, so I'm going to have to do it on this one too. Look. Matter of fact, get that up there. Y'all got to see this, man, because this is where stuff get creepy. Hold up. Look. Look at this. A fire support specialist, MOS 13F, often called the Forward Observer or 13 Fox. So what the hell is the best 13 organization? Was he the best of his class when he was in the damn army or whatever the case? Look, an army soldier responsible for identifying, targeting, and coordinating indirect fire from artillery motors and close air support. So when he was doing that massacre, he had to be employing them skills because kids gonna run. Kids gonna get away. How you gonna... Man, he used some old tactical going on in his house. And why? Hey, man, y'all gotta bear with me. I'm trying to understand. You know, I understand people's mental health is fragile as hell. Not only am I trying to do myself a favor, I figure I do a good deed to help people at least see between the blurry lines all of this, because there's a lot of blurs. When it's time to get paid, when there's big bucks involved, You never know what type of time bomb kamikaze is let loose. Y'all hear all different types of theories about 9/11 and what really went down. Even though they'll put it out there one way, you got a million different people with a million different theories about 9/11, Pizzagate, Kanye West and Taylor Swift, depending on how you see the situation. From the research I've been doing and how I'm starting to see the situation, it's a possibility, allegedly, that there's some foul going on down there in Shreveport, Louisiana. And keeping the community in fear, making it the hub for domestic violence, and 50 in town donating towards domestic violence, and other people interested and putting they foot down. How many other investors coming to the table after hearing something like this? How many people want to help the situation in Shreveport right now? How many billionaires heard the news and said, you know what? We need to make a change for that town. And it's not like it's a major city, so whatever resources they accumulate, it can be spread out to a select group of people that can capitalize off of this. And don't nobody want to see no tragedy where 7 to 8 kids lose their lives. Nobody even want to hear about nothing devastating like this. Okay, I'm gonna do this one more time. So after all we listened to, after all we talked about so far, let's listen at this with fresh ears and see if we can see any kinks in this situation. Come on.
Tonight, new details on gunman Shawn Elkins, who shot and killed 7 of his children and their cousin.
He may have shot them all.
The shooter's brother-in-law, Troy Brown, shocked, telling NBC News 31-year-old Elkins recently sought mental health treatment through Veterans Affairs.
He stayed there.
So this is his wife's husband. His wife's brother. This is his wife's brother, his brother-in-law. So you figure he married to his sister, all his nieces and nephews, that's their daddy, so they tight. He talked to this man. When they get together, they chop it up. He let him know that he was dealing with some mental health situations and he went to go get some help. Listen.
Telling NBC News, 31-year-old Elkins recently sought mental health treatment through Veterans Affairs.
He stayed there a week and a half. He came home. He was happy.
Oh, whoa. He stayed there a week and a half. He was in the facility? Hold on. Wait. Hold on. No.
Health treatment through Veterans Affairs.
Wait a minute. Let's do this real quick. Put that on. Y'all stay tuned. I got this. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Let's see what is going on. So, this is the facility that he went to. It looked like the damn Octagon. He was in there for a week and a half doing what? He went to go get some treatment. They gave him a bed. Did they run some tests? Was the medicine they gave him so strong he couldn't leave? He was inebriated. The Shreveport Medical Center. He went in there looking for some help. He stayed there for a whole week and a half. Came out. And, hey, let me quit talking about them people like that. For they sent Rambo or somebody over here. I ain't prepared. Have to go to Dungeons and Dragons and get me a shield and a sword and sit by the door all night. I don't want that type of smoke. They sent a damn kamikaze ninja over here. A black Dragon Ball Z nigga. I don't want none of them problems. So we gonna, like I said, it's just a conspiracy. but he was in there for a week and a half and came home. And when he got back, the problem wasn't fixed. So what was they doing in there to where he went berserk like this? What type of brain scans or what type of treatment? Okay, this is what we're going to do. Look. Y'all got to feel me on this. And don't take me seriously. Like the dude in the comment section said, oh, you always cracking jokes. It's always fun and games. But I promise you, bro, this video ain't no joke. And no video from here on out is going to be a joke. Unless we talking about Ice Spice getting slapped at the McDonald's or something. I joke about something that's jokeable. But I promise, this ain't jokeable. If you never seen this movie, you might want to get it tonight. You might want to get on Amazon Prime. If you interested in this subject and you trying to figure out how it goes, you might want to check this movie out. Now, it's a theory and everything, but wherever there's smoke, there's fire. You wouldn't believe. You hear stories about vets and people, great American people might I add, people that fight for their country and stuff, and you wonder, well, damn, what was it that made somebody snap? You have no idea for real what people go through. I don't have an idea what people go through for real, but I'm praying for the veterans and the soldiers out there because, you got to be a strong person to go through whatever it is that they go through. But this movie gave a glimpse to some extent. I don't know if it's science fiction or whatever the case is, but it'll have you scratching your head. The stuff that people were exposed to don't even know that they exposed to. They'll wipe your whole like a hard drive and have you out there in the world confused like a motherfucker trying to pick up the pieces. Look, this man, he had to take he didn't even know he had a chip up in him. He knew something wasn't right. Had to take the chip out his ass. Man. Okay. Let me shut up. Let's get back to this. Look.
Children and their cousins on gunman Shawn Elkins, who shot and killed 7 of his children and their cousin.
Well, he may have shot them all.
The shooter's brother-in-law, Troy Brown, shocked, telling NBC News 31-year-old Elkins recently sought mental health treatment through Veterans Affairs.
He stayed there a week and a half. He came home. He was happy.
Elkins left the Louisiana Army National Guard in 2020 after they say he served for 7 years as a private.
He loved his kids. He loved his wife. I just don't know what happened. You never know what a person's going through.
The horrific act of violence happened inside this home early Sunday. The kids, all between 3 and 11 years old. Authorities say the gunman also shot his wife and a woman believed to be his girlfriend.
Now, you know he loved his kids by what they had on. If one had a shirt, the other one had a shirt. And if the other one had a shirt, the other one had the shirt. And if the other one had... So when they went shopping for the kids, everybody, if it's different sizes, can you imagine? Them kids grow, and kids grow fast. They grow extremely fast. And them ain't no hand-me-down. In order for them to be hand-me-downs, they would have all had to have different shirts on. They got them shirts at the same time. And for the boys too, if he had one and he had one, they took care of them kids. And he was a proud father of them kids. He was over there frequently. It wasn't, some of y'all ain't seen y'all daddy in 20 years. Some of y'all can count on one hand how many times you seen your father in your childhood. And some of y'all can't even do that. So for him to be an active father like this, in Shreveport, 50 Cent donating to domestic violence in Louisiana, an all-American soldier, one of their own, went out bad like this. He had a gun charge or whatever the case is. So that put him on the chopping block. They could have been fucking with him since day. I don't understand how you a National Guard and catch a gun charge. Like you out there with a Frisbee doing your National Guard work. Like you don't got a gun permit. Did he shoot somebody with the gun when he got the gun charge? Do National Guards use billy clubs? I could have swore they use firearms, or maybe I'm wrong. Matter of fact, let me look before I keep on talking about this, because they probably do just have the flashlights. They might be mall cops, for all I know. Let me type this in. I don't know every damn thing, and I'm not going to act like I do. Okay, this is what it says. National Guard members are now always armed during domestic missions, but they are increasingly authorized to carry service weapons, M17s, handguns, and M4 rifles for self-defense and force protection while deployed for national disasters. They may be unarmed, however, during security missions or civil unrest. They are often armed to act as a deterrent, or whatever. So, yeah, National Guards got access to some GATs. Equipment when armed, they typically carry service-issued pistols or rifles rather than police-style equipment. So they guns is different than the police guns or whatever the case. Do you get a gun in the National Guard? Yes, National Guard members are trained on and issued firearms, and they may carry them depending on their mission, training, and authorization. While often unarmed during domestic support roles, they are armed for specific missions, such as the 2025 deployment in Washington, D.C., where they carried M17 handguns and rifles or whatever. So when he got caught with the gun charge, him being the National Guard ain't have nothing to do with that. And it seemed like that's when his situation started going downhill. He was with them from 2013 all the way up to the year 2000. And they not giving specifics on why this man was let go. But even though he was no longer with the National Guard, he was still able to go get treatment from the VA or whatever the case is. So something had to happen to where they felt like they was responsible enough in order to treat this man for whatever he was dealing with mentally. And dealing with them signals or whatever he was dealing with. Hold on, let me get back to that part. Because they say he was a signal specialist. And I'm pretty sure that type of stuff mess with your brain. I started cutting my cell phone off at night because I ain't comfortable. I don't know what the hell going on with that. Hold up. Okay, no, they ain't gonna let us read this. So we just gonna keep it moving. Hey, do me a favor, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel too. Also, join the channel, show me some love. For all the people in the comment section leaving comments, I really do appreciate y'all. So much love. We about to get back into this news and everything, but I gotta let y'all know I'm praying for the family. I'm praying for the victims and all that. But something definitely not right about this. Look.
Then years old. Authorities say the gunman also shot his wife and a woman believed to be his girlfriend before he fled in a stolen car. Home security video capturing the moments officers caught up to him and exchanged gunfire. He was later pronounced dead. What is it like to return to this scene today?
It's just unreal. I can't believe it. It is tragic what is going on, and this has affected everyone.
Another urgent question tonight. How did Elkins have access to a firearm? Authorities say he was a convicted felon. Family members noting he was also going through a divorce.
We thank you for watching.
Damn. Okay, let's move on, y'all. Let's get to this part. Because this is the craziest part about all of this. And this is one of the main things we got to talk about. Look.
Another deadly shooting has torn apart another American community. Yesterday morning in Shreveport, Louisiana, A man shot and killed 8 children and gravely wounded 2 adults. He was killed during a confrontation with police after fleeing the scene. William Brangham has more.
Jeff, police said the children ranged in age from 3 to 11 years old. The killer was reportedly the father to 7 of the 8 children that he killed. The 2 adult victims were the suspect's wife and another woman. This was the deadliest shooting in America in over 2 years, and it sent shockwaves throughout Shreveport. City officials today said the shooting underscores a broader problem.
I would like to also remind everyone that in the city of Shreveport, we have a true epidemic of domestic violence. And that is something that should be a top priority of the city's administration, the city council, and law enforcement.
For more on this tragedy and the broader issue of gun violence, we are joined again by April Zioli.
The language is all fucked up. The way they putting it out there, the tone they're using, the language they're using, they ain't speaking about no dynamic in the black ghetto, people struggling with mental health and kids and stuff. They just want to keep on with this domestic violence, Shreveport, Louisiana. They making it more about the officials and the people in charge than they are about the victims in the city. They too busy trying to put the city on the map for being the home of domestic violence than dealing with what's going on. It seemed like they rubbing their hands together like Birdman with this situation. And this dude could have been a pawn all along. Now, I don't know for sure, but this type of stuff don't happen every day. And I'm not saying it never happened before and it'll never happen again. But when he went down there to get that treatment and he came out that motherfucker a ticking time bomb, I wonder what that was all about.
She's the director of the Michigan Firearm Law Implementation Program at the University of Michigan. April, thank you so much for being here again. Your research studies the intersection of domestic violence and firearms. So given that people might just be taking on board what this...
You mean to tell me we going to war and all that right now? And they talking about domestic violence and firearms, even if it's with your bare hand, domestic violence is what they trying to braid some money out of this. People got guns. There's a motherfucker out there in a pickup truck right now with no drawers on, no pants, no nothing, streaking, riding dirty. If you want a strap, all you got to do is go get it. That don't mean you gonna go on a killing spree. The gun didn't do it. It ain't about the damn gun. There's guns sitting in safes right now. It's the people that use the guns. And seeing how he went and got some mental evaluations done with him, maybe they should have checked that out when he went down there to get that help. They should have probably made sure that he ain't have no firearms or nothing like that when he went down there to get that help. If they was trying to help him to begin with. And I know these pictures are grim and all that. I know it look crazy with him hooked up to them devices or whatever the case is, but the conspiracy theories is happening out here, and rightfully so, because the language they using and how they talking about it, it seemed like they got another agenda. I could be wrong. I'm gonna shut up. We need to listen at this.
Tragedy is all about. What was your initial reaction to this?
My initial reaction was, unfortunately, that this has happened again. We know from research that there are often opportunities to intervene and to stop this kind of violence from happening. But the opportunities were missed and we're left with a tragedy.
And what does the research show us about that, the overlap between domestic violence and firearm ownership?
It shows that when a violent male intimate partner has access to a gun, the chance that he'll kill the female partner goes up.
Nah, they want to make this a black male. This is just division between black males and females. Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. And now they got a reason to amp it through the map. Look at this, man. They ain't showing the victim. All they talking about is guns in black niggas' hands. Y'all see that? That's what they talking about.
Injure somebody from far away. You can't do that with a knife. You can't do that with a blunt instrument. If firearms
school shoot,
trap violence in the home.
Message to people.
So they just gonna talk about the gun laws and things like that's, man. Hey, like I said, it's a million different ways to capitalize off of this situation. But as far as that family go, they're not really concerned about none of that. They too busy trying to chop this thing up for their own agendas or whatever the case is. Look.
I want to get you to that tragic.
Hold on, we already seen that. Let's go back to this real quick.
About 5:55 a.m. on Sunday morning, Shreveport police received the first call regarding a disturbance.
Mobile Command Center. When I first saw that, did 50 invest into that? Because that looked like a G-Unit truck. It got hip hop elements to it. It's sitting on 24s. What the hell is that? It got hydraulics. The Shreveport Police Mobile Command Center. So what that do? Do it send commands to your mobile device? Have you on Amazon shopping all night? It command you to do some bullshit to serve and protect all citizens. What's in the truck? It's some police in there rolling dice waiting for something to pop off. The Mobile Command Center. You hear a slap and somebody scream. Next thing you know, the command unit start coming down the street. In order to invest in some shit like this, they need something to pop off. You ain't about to fuel this thing up with gas for nothing. They sitting in there with the AC on and ain't nothing popping off. The whole city gonna go broke. They need a nigga to act up. A bunch of niggas to act up to fit in this thing. They must collect niggas like cans with this big ass truck. And I swear, I ain't trying to be funny about the situation, but come on, y'all. How many of these they got? This better be the only one. Look.
At a resident in the 300 block of West 79th Street. The caller stated that they were on top of a house. The suspect was inside and that a male had been shot. 3 minutes later at 5:58, dispatch received an additional call indicating the suspect was a relative of the caller. A minute later, 5:59 a.m., dispatch was advised that approximately 9 individuals resided at the location.
Damn, casualties. That's what they call it, man. And a lot of times, when somebody trying to get it, there will be casualties. You got a girlfriend and you eyeing another chick, you want them cheeks, somebody gonna get their feelings hurt. There will be casualties. You wanna come up, quit looking at my sexy body. You wanna come up on some big money and there's a bunch of fiends out there. They got lesions and shit on their arm. They might OD off the dope, but you gonna be balling. There will be casualties. Whenever there's money to be made, you own a beauty parlor, you putting that shit in their head, they ears burning, they neck burning, they back hurting, they hair fell out. There will be casualties. You a barber, you ain't that good at what you do, but you need the practice. You trying to get it popping for this summer. You pushing his hairline all the way back. They walking out the barbershop looking like Earth, Wind, and Fire. There will be casualties. Y'all trying to get that domestic violence money popping with Curtis Jackson. He come to the city with a fitted hat on, looking like somebody's grandfather, and they all old. Would they give up? They trying to go on vacation. They want to go to Hawaii with 50. Ain't no tell life short, man. They trying to ball out. They old people on the mission. They made it this far. They might as well take it to the max. It's a little town in the middle of nowhere and nobody cares. They make it seem like it's a homeless shelter. The whole Shreveport. They treat it like, let me show y'all what they treat their city like. Look. Put that on. Y'all remember them commercials with them dogs? They had the dogs crying in the cage, and they be asking you for the donation to come do something about these damn dogs. They put the paw up on the gate, and somebody's heart gonna start churning for them dogs, and they know it. They show a picture of a abused dog looking bad. Next thing you know, them donations coming in and people thinking they giving their money to the dog. And they was running these type of campaigns in the 90s. And people would be sitting there crying while they watching Married with Children or whatever the case. You sit down to watch The Simpsons and this shit pop on. Before you know it, you digging in the couch for spare change so you can mail it to the dogs. Shreveport, they let it be known that they residences be beating each other ass. People want to get drunk, go home and fight their wives, beat their kids. We got to get some money out of it. We got to find a way to stop. How the hell you going to stop domestic violence? Unless you put some more money in the hands of the people. They ain't got nothing to be mad about. You ain't about to be cutting up and you got that big ass potato salad sitting in the refrigerator. Before you act bad, you going to go in there and fix you a plate. You ain't trying to beat nobody ass when you got big popsicles all in the freezer. You got a bubble bath waiting with some Epsom salt. You going to put on some old school and pour you a glass of wine, sit in the tub with your old lady. You can't do that when you broke. I mean, you could, but that bath water going to be brown. $500,000 will go to nine nonprofit organizations. So that means they all could file this on their taxes. That's just money. And they could, what the gingerbread house gonna do about domestic violence? They take a bite out of crime. Next thing you know, the whole neighborhood got diabetes. The Fountains Community Development Corporation. What they gonna do? Families Helping Families, Region number 7. Well, if families helping families, that mean that there's real communities and it won't be that much domestic. If they was really families helping families, it wouldn't be an epidemic for domestic violence. So somebody not doing their job. Moms on a mission for what? To make more babies? The Best 13 MLK Community Development Corporation. People were just making up names. The MLK Neighborhood Association. I could see if they was in Atlanta. Northwest Louisiana Youth Golf and Education Foundation. Like no basketball, no jigaboo madness. We got the kids out there playing golf. You hand them a club and a ball, and we want our kids to be like Tiger Woods, baby. Northwest Louisiana Youth Golf and Education Foundation. You gotta know your ABCs and swing that club like Tiger, baby. That's the name of their nonprofit. Northwest, look, I didn't say where I would make the donations, but I like Shreveport, Jackson said. So he just put the money down and they chopped it up amongst themselves. That money probably never left that room. It probably never, it never left the damn room. He came there with a bag and put it on the table and said, hey, yeah, chop it up. Domestic violence, that's what we doing. If ain't no violence down here, you know, I probably ain't gonna be able to stick around. No, 50, I promise. There's plenty of domestic violence. This is a theory. I don't know all the details. Ain't nothing wrong with thinking things over. There's endless possibilities. And I know I could be wrong. I could be dead ass wrong about this. But that's Negro here, no doubt. I'm about to go ahead and get out of here. Let me find some good music. That's perfect. Join the channel. Let me know what y'all think about all this, man. For all you beautiful ladies out there, I love y'all to death. Y'all see, I've been working out. Your man jealous don't want you watching my videos. I get it. But I put in the work so I could do stuff like this. If I want to get sexy online, I could do that. Y'all don't know about doing 500 push-ups a day, 600 squats a day. Subscribe to the channel, baby. I see you looking. You ain't left the video. You clicked on the video and saw me looking like this and decided that you wanted to join. Rest in peace to the victims. Whatever was on this man's mind, I don't know who put it there. I don't know. Y'all let me know. I'm about to get out of here, though. So much love for everybody. Y'all be good out there, man. No doubt.